Okay. Private action FAQs, 3-11, original FAQ. For difficulty settings. Alright, actually it's worth reading this to you guys. So 7, the 4 difficulty settings. It's just basically some basic information. Earth mode, enemy HP and MP maximum 70% of galaxy. Cannot obtain battle trophies. Note, in MOT, Major Tribulations, enemies have 100% maximum HP MP, enemies have weak AI. So that's Earth mode, that's the easy mode of the game. You have Galaxy mode, is what we're playing on right now because we just started a new file. Enemy HP MP maximum 100%, enemies have normal AI. Then we have Universe mode, which is like the hard mode. Enemy HP and MP 150%, may boost may boost other stats, and enemies have high AI. So yeah, basically all their stats are multiplied basically by 1.5 times, and they say some stats are different. Well, that is true. There's no like real conclusive like total boost to it, you know what I mean? Like there's no way to calculate how high the boost is for all of them, but some differ. Like some bosses have actually like much higher stats, much more inflated stats than like some other like minor enemies and shit like that. So in general, that's the rule of thumb. The bosses get a much bigger like increase. So now you hit 4D mode, which is like the very hard, like the kind of like the extreme or ultra hard or something like that. So that's what 4D mode is. Enemy HP and MP 180% minimum. So this is the minimum. However, it goes up as high as 3 times. And same in Universe mode, it goes up as high as 2 times. So 20% for Universe mode, and in 4D mode is 100% minimum. Some as high as 300%, so yeah, it says it right there. Other stats are boosted with percentage unknown. Cannot see the enemy fury gauge. Enemies have very high AI and increased movement speed. Yeah, that's true. Thanks to Topper Cop for 4D miscellaneous stats, Marty81 suggestion Universe may boost other stats. AI differs per level slash current for 4D, 300% and increased movement speed. Yeah, so 4D mode is like supposedly the hardest mode. But that's I would say mainly yes on that. I mainly agree with that. I disagree totally because Universe mode cannot use the exploit of the no movement glitch, and the no movement glitch actually makes 4D a lot bearable, like a lot more bearable. Like I'm sure, in fact, that if nobody had access to the no movement glitch, 4D would be almost impossible to beat by human standards. Like most people, in fact, probably a very small, like very tiny percentile of all the players, maybe like 1% or less, would be able to like make it past the first fight. You know what I'm saying? Like the first major fight, which is the Inquisitor. Like that fight is extremely difficult. Anyway, so let's see, targeting modes, 2 targeting modes. I know a dude who's very popular in the community for Star Ocean, and you know he does a lot of videos for it and stuff like that. And it took him, get the fuck out of here. And it took him like several months just to record that video alone, just like to get the perfect like recording of it, to actually just get him to win. It took him a long time to be able to like record everything goes right. Like he did so many retries of that fight. Like he got like so sick of it, he had to take a break from the game and come back to it. And you know, eventually he got it, because it's just one of those fights that like, even if you have the main strategy down, which you know most players that get to 4D know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like even if you have the main strategy down, it's so hard to execute it because of how much shit could go wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like there's still a random factor to it, which is the stats are so inflated that the enemy's agility is actually like nearly tripled of what it is normally, and on top of that, they contrast so severely from your own hit. So a little bit of how this game works: if your hit is so low that the enemy's avoid is just like so superfluous, what happens is that like you end up attacking the enemy and a shield comes up in front of you or in front of the enemy, and it's just like it basically counts as a parry, so the attack doesn't even go through. it's like you're, you know, if you play Dark Souls, it's like if you hit a wall with like your sword, you know how it doesn't hit the enemy, it just hits the wall and it clanks. That's basically what happens. You try to hit the enemy and it clanks with a invisible shield that's there. Well, it's kind of visible, but it's like noted to be there. So that happens like often, like no, not often, frequently it happens in 4D mode when you fight basically any enemy. So you cannot commit to an attack, because not only does that move, like if you attack and hit the parry, your animation goes through all the way, but the enemies does not. So they're not in hit stun, they're not in any kind of lag situation. They recover from it far quicker than your attack. So what happens a lot of the time is that let's say I stun the enemy, right? With an anti-attack aura. Let's say I run far away. Oh no, let's not even go with the anti-attack. Let's say the enemy's in the middle of an attack, right? Because this will make more sense. So let's go, and I'm attacking, sorry, the enemy's attacking like Cliff or something. And I go up from behind and I hit him with the long charge circle attack, right? The heavy, or the major, if you want to call it that. And to do the launcher, to launch him up into the air. So I ended up doing that, but I hit the parry, so he blocks my attack. But I go through with the animation, so I fly like kind of up into the air, and I had to finish the animation, but he's already ready to attack. So he does a move, or he does a special or a skill or something, and it knocks me out in one hit, and now that's it. My character's dead because I went for an attack and I risked it. So you cannot take risks in 4D mode because it can cost you your life. And that's basically what's so difficult about 4D. If you didn't have shit like the no movement glitch, it would be so much harder to plan around. And I'm telling you, it would not be possible by human standards to beat it. Like, I'm 100% like positive that people would just not be able to make it past certain roadblocks in the game. And that first one is the Inquisitor. That is the first major roadblock of 4D mode. There's a couple others, but like that one is so crucial. If you can't make it past that, just give up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna beat the game. Anyway, I spent enough time talking about this. Let's go ahead and let's read a little bit more of this.